Yes, hey folks, it's Tim, also known as Faceless Fat Loss and Over 40 and Ripped. It has been such a long time since I have done a video. I sincerely apologize. It's been a full 6 months. This is the longest I've ever gone in the now 8 years I've been doing this on YouTube. It's been 8 years. So I'm doing this introductory part of the video with my obligation to show what my physique looks like in the newspaper timestamp there. USA newspaper from Monday, but I will admit the video was filmed on Tuesday, the day after, because I was fat on Monday. Now here's the popcorn that I eat. Organic, non-GMO, air-popped, no oil popcorn. Remember that organic is not always guaranteed non-GMO. P.S. GMO sucks. Don't ask government to force companies to label GMO-free. Contact the company and demand that they label it GMO-free themselves. Here's the newspaper leap year, February 29th, 2016. The topic of this video doesn't relate just to Asian people, as the title of it suggests, but it relates to people around the world. Over this period of time, the 6 months, I've been traveling a little bit, and I found a consistent, as far as weight issues go in America and the idea of less calories in to lose weight, I found something really fascinating within that very basic concept that I'm not sure is really clear to a lot of people, that I thought I really need to drive home to help make this point. What I have found is that if you look at it, I could sit there in an Asian country, for example, and just put the video on and record people walking, and you'll find far less of an obesity situation there, many more thin people than you will in most Western countries, I'm sure, as you can all imagine. So what I realized was that the folks there, and this doesn't have anything to do with their economic situation or anything like that. I'm making a point about the calories in subject matter. They tend to be doing exactly what I do, and that is that the scope of the amount of different kinds of foods that they eat tends to be less. It just plain tends to be less. Now, for a lot of people, food is like this entertainment and amusement factor, and we have, especially in our Western culture, of course, it's fun to explore foods and whatnot. I'm all for that. I love exploring new fruits and whatnot in the produce section. Huge with the produce section. As most of you know, I'm about 80% real food, 20% or some degree of processed, and that's pretty much what I do. We all love to explore new foods, of course, but as a general rule, what I eat on an ongoing daily basis as part of the way I live tends to be a pretty small selection, and within that, for lack of a better way of explaining it, that limitation, that limited selection of foods gets, for lack of a better word, quote, boring. It just gets boring. So you're not as inclined to want to eat, and not as inclined to want to eat as much. If you think about it, it just makes sense. And this is what I found to be true as a great example in many Asian countries. And it's also true in other parts of the world. So I was also thinking about the pro bikini competitors that I know and the figure competitors that I know in these naturals competitions. And I was watching one girl speak to a group of younger ladies who were interested in the pro bikini and the figure divisions, and were asking them questions about how they got into it and how they look the way they do. And one of them was making the point that this is not something where we're just doing the 12 weeks worth of prep towards this competition date and then we look totally awesome. It's not that at all. And these girls were giving this speech off season when they didn't have any pending competitions coming up, and they looked amazing. The point that they were making, telling these ladies about, was that they live a certain way, they eat a certain way all the time. And it tends to be, just like what I said, kind of a limited scope. It does not feel like you're depriving yourself. I don't want to give everyone that impression. It's not. It's just a matter of treating food as the energy source that we need and keeping it to that. It just plain works. You get used to it and it becomes very comfortable and you become very content with it. You have your cheat days on the weekends, weekends and whatnot, like I do, where you can experiment more and explore more other foods and eat some of the junk food that you love. And that's what we all do. And that's what one of these competitors was saying up on the stage when she was talking to a bunch of people. It's just the way it is for most of us who have trimmer physiques. And we can see another example of that as we look around outside of the Western world at how other cultures eat and what makes them so slim. I really believe this is a crucial point everyone needs to get. It's about that limited scope of foods, kind of by design or just by the way it happens, naturally perhaps, and therefore less desire due to the, for lack of a better word again, boring selection. And it just works. We can save the fun stuff for the weekends and our cheat days. So I am going to be doing another video very soon. I absolutely assure you of this. It will be within the next 2 to 4 weeks. I already have the subject matter, and it relates to how to eat a specific type of raw food. Looking very much forward to that because no one else that I know of has a video about it, and it'll be really neat. So watch for that. Thank you so much for watching. More videos to come. Love, happiness, health, and peace.